right now. That coolest station online. Yeah, that's awesome. Because we play
Hi, come in. Oops. I'm just on the radio now. Come in, come in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Goddess Jazzy Show. How are we this morning? Oh my goodness me. What a week it's been. What a week it's been. Oh my God, oh my God. Firstly, I want to do some shout outs. I want to do some shout outs to, let me just start. So yesterday, let me take my breath. 1 second. Yeah. Yesterday, I was feeling a little bit, I wanted someone to listen to me, not to speak. I didn't want to speak to someone in that respect. I wanted to say something to somebody, anyone, a stranger. Oh, thank you so much. And I chose to, I said to myself, I sat in the car and I said to myself, I didn't plan what area I'm going to, and I just chose Sutton. Drove up to Sutton. I said, let me just go into TK Maxx and get some lip gloss. If you're on live, you can see it here. Gone into TK Maxx. So me and this lady were upstairs. She had her trolley, I had my trolley. She said, just push me out the way when you finished. I said, all right then. That's the person I wanted. I wanted to speak to someone, you know. And it was her. So I want to shout out to Julie from Wellington. Julie, thank you for yesterday. A lady in her 60s. We talked about everything. We talked about, well, she talked about menopause. I haven't gone through it yet, but she talked about menopause, being married, being lied to about a cancer diagnosis that they lied to her about. She lived with that for a long time and found out that she didn't really have cancer. We spoke about young people chatting us up. And she was just amazing. You know, when you ask God or the universe for just that person to listen, and she listened to me as well, you know. I just wanted to explain to her the day I was feeling a little bit kind of emotional and happy because next week is my birthday, and every time my birthday comes I get that emotional feeling because there was a time that they said I wasn't meant to be here. So for that I just needed her, and she was there. So shout out to Julie from Wellington. Oh, bless her. I want to shout out to my goddaughter Tasia, who told me yesterday that she's at university. I love you so much. Your mum would be so proud of you, darling. So Auntie's very, very proud of you. I want to shout out to my best friend whose birthday is, if he was here now, he'd be cursing me because I should know. It's either today, tomorrow the 5th. Rest in peace, Lloyd Clark. Happy heavenly birthday. I miss you like no one's business. I miss our jokes. I miss our memes. I miss our talk. I miss our Libra connection. And yeah. So, aside from that, I'm here with my lovely guest, Venetia. Is it Venetia?
Vinita.
Venita, come over your chair here, Venita. Venita looks very hot and sexy today. Your chair. Is that fan okay?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know when you reach a certain age, you need the fan on. Here's lovely Venita.
Hey.
Hey, how are you? Welcome this morning. Sorry, how are you?
I'm very good.
Yeah?
It's a lovely day out. I didn't expect the rain, but when
It's mild, isn't it?
it's very mild.
Yeah.
And it's fine because when I left Greenwich, there was no rain. But by the time I got off the bus here,
Yeah.
and I saw the rain, it's
It
all good.
was,
Yeah.
How was the journey in?
It was good. It was a simple train solution.
Okay.
And then I got a 75.
Yeah. That's
Quite
right.
simple, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the whole Lewisham area,
Oh, you are?
the shopping centre and all.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's easy, yeah.
Venita.
Yeah.
Venita, tell us about you. Who are you? Who's Venita?
Wow, that's a big one. That's another question. So I am essentially a person who does multiple things, to be honest. So
Okay.
I'm shorter, or so I don't know if I get in there. But
Yeah, you know you will.
yeah,
Definitely
so I do a few things. So I'm a single mom, and I have 2 children. We live.
What age are your children? Don't mind me asking.
Yeah, that's cool. My daughter is 20, and my son is 15.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, and I live with them. I am. I do a few things. So essentially, from a work standpoint, I'm between 2 careers. So I work mainly in financial services, and I worked in banks. But then last year, suddenly, like you were saying, you know, those moments
Yeah,
that
yeah,
things
you know
happen.
that moment that happened.
Yeah, after COVID, during 2 or 3 years that we were home and everything, I thought, you know, I just want to really show my son a completely new place. And I left work over here at the bank, and I took another job in Singapore. So I took him and I said, let's just go. And my daughter by that time was working here, so she didn't go with us.
Yes. Was he nervous?
Very, very. But that was the whole point, because he was 14, and for a 14-year-old, it's very, very difficult.
Yeah.
But I have grown up in India, in Africa, in Spain, and I just feel that there's so much learning in the travel, because we protect our children too much
here, definitely so.
Yeah, and I saw, you know, he's born in Scotland, growing up in London, and I thought, okay, that's still just one country in that, you know, one UK, and he hasn't seen much of the world. So I thought, you know, we'll just do this.
Wow.
And interestingly, you know, I'm reading this book called Chutzpah, which is about like how the Israelis have this, you know, serious startup culture and very, very innovative. And it is about that. It is about just leaving the kids in difficult situations to get on with it.
Because then they appreciate what they've got. That's what I believe.
They appreciate and they improvise. You know, Elon Musk, oddly, I know there are people who love him and who hate him. But Musk says children these days just don't see enough hardship. And he read so many books because he was always bullied at school and he didn't want to be there. And that's why books were his security, you know, his comfort zone. So I thought, you know, this child, I just want to experience this. He said, I don't want to go without you. So I left my job. I said, let's both go.
Wow.
And we went there. We did a year. And after a year, we felt, okay, this isn't great for us. You know, it's great for exposure, but do we want to have a long-term life? Not really.
Yes.
So after the year, we came back. And right now I'm still looking for my next sort of full-term job. So therefore I'm also doing this whole improvising, saying every day I go, all right, let's try something different today. Which one will I try today? You know, we met at the audition.
That's right,
and then I recorded an advert for one of the famous Chris brand.
My favorite Chris brand. Remember I told you?
Yeah, your favorite. So that's to come. We recorded last week. So
how was it?
It was really good.
Was it good? Did you have to eat a lot of stuff, crisps?
Not really. No. I had to eat a few because I managed to get it done in a few takes. And and then I did one for medical equipment. So yeah, I mean, there's so much going on. And it's just nice. And I've been hosting. So any of you who are single out here, I've been hosting the singles date night.
Have you?
Yeah. So there's a firm called Original Dating.
Okay. And how much is it, Vinita?
How much is what?
For this dating
I think it's £20 for one night.
Why should we pay to meet someone? Tell me that.
I think
since you brought this up, why must we pay it? Why can't it be free?
It can be free, but essentially this is just about, you know, arranging the place, making sure there's a host, sort of my wages. So if you want to meet someone for free, obviously you can go and meet someone right now. But it's more for saying, okay, this is a place where you will definitely find, let's say, 14 men or, you know, 14 women. So it's about the organization of it.
Okay.
Right? So if I say like I'm just hosting, so I don't run the company, just to be clear. So the point being that they needed a person to host it.
So it's all the time you'd be doing this, or is it a one-off?
It's a self-employed thing. It's gigs. You know, I would say, okay, I'm free for Thursday night. I'll host Thursday, or I'm free for Saturday. And they're different themes. So there are 20s and 30s date night, or 30s and 40s date night, or lesbian dates, gay dating. Could be anything. Autumn party.
And is it in very nice areas? Or is
so the one I'm doing is in Grace Church Street. I'm doing another one in Chiswick. On this Thursday. So like I'm saying, I'm just getting on with trying different things. And when my actual, you know, big long-term job begins, then I will dial down. I'll see how much I can fit in. It will all depend.
And how do you feel doing all of this? How does it feel to give you a new lease of life?
I think it's nice. I have done it a bit before. I was on a Davina McCall show 5 years ago with her.
What was it?
It was called the Davina Hour, where she was just meeting people on different themes. So she had 8 of these series where she did one on, let's say, stress, one on parenting, one on technology. And then they picked me up. They couldn't decide first where to put me. They said, well, you fit like pretty much each of these. So then they said, okay, what about stressing? How are you doing all these things and you're still not stressed? Because that year I was also running the London Marathon. I've done 1 marathon, 3 half marathons. So they were just like, thank you. So they said you need to come here because you're still not stressed. And so I was on that show. So I've done a few gigs before. Then I completely stopped because my job got really busy. And I wanted to focus on the kids. And I started a small business, which I then stopped. So I do, if you see a lot of, I write books, so I've written 4 books. I've written actually 6, but published only 4.
Well
So,
done you.
so, you know, it's just the brain just is in an overdrive. So if you ask me that, to answer your question, what do I do? I don't even
you
know.
don't know where to start.
I don't know where to start.
Good morning.
Good morning, yeah. That's just how it works,
Yeah.
But if
so what's your
anyone-
books? What has your books been on?
So the first one, because I was working in a bank and I was looking after, you know, how the financial, you know, the crash that happened in 2008 and all that. So it's all about that, saying how can you fix the culture? And a lot of people say, oh, banks are bad. But you can't just say banks are bad and say, I'm going to put all my money under the mattress.
No.
You know, you have to trust a system.
To an extent though, yeah?
But you have to get somewhere and start fixing things, right? You can't say, okay, this is this whole culture of people who is bad and we won't talk to them. What will we do? Not talk to 7% of the country? Like, you know, how do you, but you have to fix things somewhere. You have to start with the solutions, not just focus on the problems. So my book is about how do you actually solve this? And not just, you know, say, oh, you know, we're going to shame everyone in this community, we're going to shame everyone in that community, and that's not the way forward, right? Then, which, I mean, if anyone's listening, if you look up Amazon, you just look up my name, like Vinita Ramtri, you'll find the book there.
The book there,
Yeah, it's called C-Tune. C stands for like culture, conduct, you know, the conduct of.
So when you was doing this book,
4:30 in the morning.
I was going to ask you that. How did you set yourself to start preparing for this? What was your direction? How did you navigate all this, especially being a single parent?
So it was my job, you know.
Oh,
so
right,
was,
okay. So you were still working.
Yeah.
Doing that. Okay.
When I came from Scotland, I found my divorce came from Scotland to London, and then my job was to look after the culture or the conduct in the bank. And every time I got invited to conferences to speak, similar to how we're talking.
Yes.
Then when you're going home, you realize, well, that's not a lecture, that is a book. You know, that's not a 30-minute thing.
Okay.
Yeah, because I kept going, well, you know, I would finish and people would still keep asking questions. And I had come from Sky TV. So before the banks, I had worked in Sky TV. And Sky is a complete, so if you see, it's a complete different culture because it's all about innovation, fun, you know, all around the place. There are posters of Shrek and, you know, it's just such a fun place to be.
Oh, it's a fun place. Okay, good.
Sky is brilliant. I mean,
why did you stop there then?
I just got a better offer.
Oh, you got a better offer, okay.
I've always left only because I got a better offer. Or I wanted to go to Singapore. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got a better offer and I thought, okay, fine, you know, I don't mind trying financial services. You know, I've done media, I get it. So I'll try this. And I mean, but Sky is, I mean,
it's the best.
One of my best employers I have ever had. So much fun, their values are fit. Okay, it's called fun, inviting, innovative, and tuned in. So if you imagine, even the values are so punchy. You know, it's so punchy.
Quite happy.
I mean, at least when I was there, it was fit, and I mean, so I did enjoy it. But when I came here, then I was looking after the conduct.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, this is a book. There's a book in me, you know. You feel like it's in you, you know, waiting for it to be written, and it's your job almost to then pen it down.
Okay.
Rather than you say, okay, I'm going to create one, it says it is created somewhere, you know, you're just a messenger, sort of penning it down. So I did that. The next one, then I was telling you, I set up a small business. So in the middle of all this, I went to India.
Oh, my gosh.
Because my family is there, right?
Yeah.
And my uncle, he sells Indian spices. So he said, well, I don't mind exporting to the UK. Would you want to do that? And I said, okay, why not? We try this. You know, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur as well.
Okay.
You know, the small business owner, hustler and all that.
It's good. It's good.
And I thought, okay, and I registered this company and I got some spices. And I mean, I can do a whole day talking about the experiences, but then I put that in a book. Okay. So what happens is, like, you know, if you imagine you're getting some, have you done any food business ever?
Only drinks. Yeah, my son does natural juices.
Okay, does he package them?
Yes.
So in the packaging,
and labels and everything like that, yes.
All that, right? So labels to be done for the UK market, you know, for pound value, not rupee value. So
so you when you're
so if you're getting something from India and you have to say, okay, what is the minimum volume, what is the minimum quantity, what is the minimum shipment? So I ended up having 2,500 jars of spices. You know, by the time it came to a good amount, to say, okay, I'm going to bring it from the port, I'm going to load it in a truck, I'm going to bring it. So I
goodness.
thought, you know, what's a good size? He said 2,500 because anyway you will pay for that much.
Mm.
You know, even if it's an empty crate, you will pay for the
that
crate.
much. So did you have a place to put it? Did you have like a shop? Oh!
So I live on the 3rd floor in a flat.
Oh no!
So I then took, exactly, you see, those are the things in that second book.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, where do I go? And I went to so many of these yellow storage.
Oh yeah, the storage, what's it? A storage box, storage, I know what you mean, that yellow.
A lot of them then say we don't do food products.
Oh.
So then I found SureGuard, which does do food products if anyone wants to do food business. So SureGuard was the most economical and is in Deptford and all that. So I went and put everything there. So you can imagine what a nightmare. Every time I needed one turmeric, one chicken masala,
go through there.
go through there, get my stuff. Then I started doing these little stands. I did Greenwich Market, Portobello Market, because I had it in my mind that this is great for the vegans.
Okay.
You see, because Indian spices are completely vegan.
Ah, you've learned something new today. Good morning, people. Let me just, good morning, Lisa, and good morning, Anna, good morning. Yeah.
So then they are, hi guys. That's
Yeah,
I
sure.
their names. But
Hi,
yeah.
it's Vinita, telling us about her entrepreneur ways. Oh my God, I'm inspired.
Thank you. But it is like you said, like it is exhausting, but you learn so much.
So did you have help with the business, with the
No, Monday to Friday I was working in the bank.
Oh my
Saturday and
gosh.
Sunday I was doing this.
What about the children? What
The children were getting neglected.
Oh,
right. So because if
yeah.
I have to stand in Greenwich Market for the whole day, then what do I do with my son says, you know, Mom, take me football. And I said, well, I can't take you football. So can you go with your friend?
Yeah.
So by the end of the year, I thought either I have to hire someone and scale this or I have to close it.
Oh.
So I then closed it because I ran into more things. So even with the food certification, so you see, this is where the small business gets killed in comparison to the large firms.
Okay.
Right? Because your big supermarkets say, well, I need an international certification on the thing. That costs like in Indian rupees like 10,000 pounds. So my supplier said, I don't want, I don't care. I mean, I'm selling in Dubai, I'm selling in Africa. I'm not bothered about the UK market. You know, you want to do the certification, you pay.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, and if I talk to the big supermarkets, I say, well, give me a big order. So I'll get the certificate. They say, no, you get the certificate, then we will think about it.
Yeah.
So you're caught in the middle between, you know, making that investment, leaving your job, thinking, okay, by the time I set this, my children will grow up, you know, and they'll be gone, you know. And
did your son never want to help you?
He was helping me. I have so many photos I can show you, like, you know, they're very cute. I mean, he used to come and make these little banners at the stands and all. But slowly, even he got tired. You see, what do you do for the full day? You know, somewhere like far away up north and all cold days, raining.
Yeah.
All day you're standing at the stand, you know. And then people say, well, can I taste the spices? Have you got food with it? Can you make some lentils? Can you fry some chips? You know, so I can pour it. So the whole thing becomes more and more complex. So either you do it saying, okay, I've got someone making the money and I'm doing this in my spare time.
Yes.
But to do two things of
hard work,
is hard, and it's like the most important thing, as you just nailed it, saying children.
Yeah.
And so so I packed that and I wrote that experience as my second book.
Okay, it's good.
During COVID, you know, I thought, okay, for anyone, because we want to learn from your experience. Can you tell us all about it? So there you go.
There you go. Read this.
Read this. And then the third and the fourth, I wrote about the Great Resignation, which was post-COVID, you know, when everyone's resigning, quitting jobs, and the quiet quitting and all that culture. The fourth one I've just finished is Cost of Living.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the fifth one I'm going to start is about lean and, you know, efficiency and everything. So I just keep writing.
Yeah. That's a real good talent, you know. So let me ask you. So I had a moment yesterday. I don't know if you call it epiphany. Have you ever had a moment like that?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Can you share it and make it clean?
Yeah. I think it's those moments when, you know, it's a lot when I study about writing novels and everything, you know, you have those moments. For me, it was a lot when I was married, for example. So every time I kept feeling like, do I really want to be married? Do I not want to be married? Do I want this life anymore? Yeah. So because in our culture, like I'm an Indian and from a very traditional background, I was married at 22. So by the time I think I was 35, I had my epiphany to say, well, I don't want to be this person anymore.
Yeah.
And so then I just decided to part ways, and then to continue as a different person.
So you stopped the marriage?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. But in a very amicable way, because
Yeah.
the point being that it's your epiphany of, is this me? Is this who I want to be? Or am I just being what the whole society always expected? We grow up and everyone says, oh, you'll get married.
You get married, you have kids, you have a house, you have this, you have the best
And
job.
I had
blah, blah, blah.
all of these. You see, so when I had all of these and I thought, oh, that's supposed to make me happy. And I'm just like, well, no, it's like ticking boxes. I ticked all the boxes.
Yeah,
great job, working at Sky, great house, great kids. And I thought, now what?
Now what?
Now,
so there was some sort of emptiness.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the epiphany, which is how I started writing. Because you have to, I always say, when we grow outward,
yeah,
what we don't do is we don't grow inward. So for every step you take forward, you have to take a step within as well to balance that. Because otherwise you feel like how these celebrities, you become very famous, but somehow you feel hollow, or you are craving the likes and you're craving the acceptance. But if you've accepted yourself, then the rest is okay, fine. It's good day, bad day, it's all good. So yeah, I think I had that, and I started really writing to myself to say, what on earth are you looking for, woman?
Wow.
You have got everything anyone could want.
So you questioned yourself, even going through it, you questioned yourself.
I really grew myself. People are scared of their bosses, I'm scared of myself. Because I'm going to question myself. These days, I'm working on, at least 12 hours of fasting. So,
how do you do this? Tell me.
Just 12.
Yeah, but how do you start? How do you just say just 12 and you look fabulous, she looks fabulous. Yeah. But how do you start this and keep it continuous like that?
So see, you don't eat after 8 p.m.
Okay, I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you break it down, right?
Break it down for me.
Yeah. So you say, okay, so you start thinking from the daytime to say, okay, I'll have dinner by 7:30. Yeah, guys. If you say I'm starting having dinner by 7:30, so you don't have a very late lunch, right? So you have lunch, let's say 12:30, and you think, okay, 7:30, I'm going to pack up, eat what I want. That's it.
And that's it,
right?
Yeah. So what about breakfast?
Breakfast, you have, again, depending on what you want. I usually do 2 meals. So I don't do 3 full meals.
Okay.
I might do, like yesterday, as a simple example, morning I did one egg omelette, 1 toast at, let's say, 9 o'clock. Yeah. Then I went off to the gym, Canary Wharf, I worked out everything. 2 o'clock I had the Pret veggie meatball thing. It's very tasty.
You need to taste it in IKEA.
Is it good? So it's that I had at 2 o'clock.
So from 9 till 2, from 9, nothing.
1 black coffee.
No sugar, nothing.
Nothing.
Did you not feel weak or anything like that?
No. So that's my 2 meals essentially. And then at 7:30, I had a banana shake. So that is 1 banana, 1 spoon of Greek yogurt, because I don't like milk.
Yeah.
1 scoop of protein powder.
That was your dinner at 7?
Yeah. And then I had green tea.
Okay.
Twinings, whatever. Ginger green tea, that green packet.
So you wasn't craving nothing?
And from then, I have not eaten. So 7:30, now what is the time now?
Half 8, yeah.
Yeah, so that's become 12 hours, right? So now when I finish from here, I'm going to go to the gym to Canary Wharf.
So you're not going to eat nothing?
No, so Canary Wharf, I've got the Pret subscription, which everyone should have because it's so reasonable. It's £30, you get 5 coffees a day. But I don't have 5 a day, but still. So I will have 1 black coffee because again, before workout, I'll not have milk.
So how do you, you see me, I have to have breakfast in the morning because I can't function.
But that's, if you're doing that, then just have an early dinner, then you're 12 hours. So what time do you eat breakfast?
Around about 8-ish. Yeah.
Correct. So if you had your dinner by 7 even, if you want to make it a little longer.
Yeah, I try not to eat very late in the evening.
Correct.
Yeah.
So 7, max 8. Just look at the time. So what you should do is just look at the clock when you're eating your last bite.
Okay.
Okay, if you say this is 8.
But then I'm craving Mr. Walker's afterwards.
But the point is that, you know how you say kitchen's closed?
Yeah.
Like that, you say stomach's closed. Stomach's not working.
No.
So you cannot.
But you know what is good? I keep the crisps in the car so that I don't go and crave in the kitchen with it.
Yeah, you should not keep food around you. That's the biggest
Yeah,
problem. You know, so
yeah.
if I work, like I've got a small flat where the living room is combined with the kitchen.
Okay, yeah.
If I'm working there, I will always eat more because I can see the fridge next to my
there,
face.
yes.
But if I'm working in the room, no
Nothing
problem.
there, yeah.
And if I keep a green tea next to me, then that's fine. And you find certain things that fill you, like Indian tea. Because Indian tea is made with milk, you know, and it's a bit, it's brewed.
Is that chai tea?
Chai tea, right?
Yeah.
So I find chai tea a bit like
Foodish.
satiating.
Yeah.
So I will, like, you know, maybe yesterday, maybe 4 p.m. or whatever, I'll have a chai. And it's got a tiny bit of soya milk. And the rest is all water.
Yeah, I can do soy milk.
Yeah, I can give you the recipe. I mean, if but it's basically homemade, right? So I buy the loose leaf tea, and then I just make it on the hob.
Okay, and let it seep and
yeah. So you put the water, and you put 1 spoon of the tea, and 1 spoon of sugar if you like. You let it simmer for a bit, and then you add like a dash of milk. And you pour it out,
and then you let it settle, and then
you can just drink it. Because if you add the milk and then you just stir it, and you pour it out. But also you get a separate masala, which is ginger, cumin, cardamom, which you can order on Amazon. It's just called chai masala. So if you add that adds a bit of a kick. Kick to, you know, the spicy touch of the chai. Like, it's not. See how you have English breakfast tea. There's no spice in that.
No, it's plain.
Correct. So the masala adds
that kick of something. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, you can put fresh cardamom and all, but I don't have
Sounds
all
very
that.
healthy.
It is very healthy. Yeah, so I do these odd things in between to have. But again, I would say, you know, this 12 hours for anyone is very good.
I know, it is. It's good to have a breakout with your body to have a
we eat more than we need to. For sure. I mean, I'm generally told. And see, again, I'm going to New York in 3 weeks.
Okay, nice.
So my sister and my parents are in America. And I want to lose weight and go in negative.
Look at you. You see it here. I don't know what weight
I'm 48
you
and a half. I'm 48 and a half kilos as of today.
Okay.
So I want to be about 48 or 47 and a half before I go to New York, so that I've got buffer. You know, when your mom cooks. When your mom cooks, it's the best thing. And you don't want to cut corners on eating then, right? So I want to leave some space.
Okay. Oh my gosh. So you've done, so how old is your son now? Is he still 14 or
15?
He's 15 now.
He's 15.
What was his experience of Singapore? What did he say about it to you?
Ooh, it'll be hard for me to say those exact words.
Okay.
But I think the main thing is...
What's the positive that he got out of it?
The positive is the exposure, the difficult life that he had to endure, because Singapore is not difficult, just so there's a contradiction in what I'm saying. Singapore is an extremely easy life.
Is it?
Yeah, in the sense easy as in it's very advanced. It's a very sophisticated country. So in Singapore, usually the concept for anyone not being or thinking about it, it is everything works.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, so it is
that, having a different vision.
Yeah, like if you imagine here, I'm sure the listeners, you know the cladding scandal. The cladding, the Glenfield Tower and all, right?
Yeah.
So my flat is in the cladding scandal, right? So every time I get emails, okay, we have to do this, Michael Gove did this, and this one did this. So every day, some or the other, right?
Yeah.
But that is the UK equivalent. You know? This is first world country. Yeah. Singapore, I had this flat. It's called a condo in Singapore, where you have swimming pool. Ooh. You have a tennis court, you have the gym.
So he did struggle there, did he?
And it's not, that's what I'm saying. So Singapore, if you're an expat, you've come from a different country, you have a decent job, you live in a condo. Okay. So in Singapore, there's a separate, usual people, who are probably not that wealthy will have flats from the government. If you're wealthy, you live in a condo, right? Okay. So there's no struggle. Once the lights stopped working, I just had to call the guard at the lifts. Okay. He sits there. He came upstairs. He fixed it. He apologized. It done. So in the whole 1 year, that is one call I had to make for anything. Everything.
Did you show your son the struggles though when you were out there? Did you go to parts that were not so?
Singapore is all very.
Is it?
The whole of it.
Because in my head, I'm thinking there must be that part. And
we've seen all parts. We've seen all parts. So the more common part is called Little India. Which is more the street, which is a little dirty, but even that part, the trains will always work, the buses will always work. Everything is so it's almost like a communist country where it's one party is prominent and everything just is fundamentally fixed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's amazing, and people don't know of like, in fact, one of my colleagues told me that before they go to America, they had to get training on how to be scared in a terror attack, like how to be scared.
So they had to prepare like that. So what do you think he learned then by being out there? What was his...
He experienced a different culture, you see. So we lived in Singapore, and we went over.
Did you learn the language? Did he learn the language?
No, Singaporean, Chinese, Malay. Is 3 languages prominent there, like English, Chinese, and Malay.
Okay.
So it's a mix. He did get an idea, and he learned how to be in school with Chinese people.
Okay,
with Singaporeans, with Americans, a different culture. He learned how football is there, so he was in the football team there.
All right.
And we went to different countries. We went to Malaysia, we went to Thailand. So we did a lot of, Vietnam. So we went to places around there.
Yeah.
So we did the whole thing. And I think just as a child who's an Arsenal fan, who worships soccer, it's like, when do you actually watch your football? Because it's middle of the night there.
Okay.
So little things like that, and making new friendships. I'm sure, you were talking about your friend you still miss. It's like, it's very hard to nurture a brand new friendship. So it's
especially this day and age now.
Correct.
Well,
so he really missed that. But yeah, I mean, I think overall the learning's great over there. There's no fear. If my child is out at middle of the night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock,
so it's a safe country.
Super safe.
Okay.
Nobody will say a thing to you. But the rules are also very strong. You cannot eat on the bus or the train. You will never find a wrapper. So it's super clean.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
super
I like
clean.
that kind of mannerism in the country.
No drugs. You won't see, you wouldn't even smell weed anywhere. Like, it is that clean and well maintained.
And respected, You can tell when the country is respected as well, isn't it?
Correct. So everyone's got a high respect for the society. Everyone follows the rules. In the underground, you will leave your crisps or whatever you put in your bag. You will not eat. You will not even talk because you'll be polite. Like, here I was sitting in the bus, someone's put their thing on loud. It's just disrespectful. Right? Yeah.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, I think everyone should experience Singapore for sure.
Yeah, because you have a different mindset on how it's supposed to be. That's why I was asking you, did he learn anything from, but now you're saying that it's which are lovely then, hey?
It is really lovely, and I mean, it's very scenic as well.
Hi. So let the viewers know as well that you are a life coach.
Oh, that one, I forgot.
Yeah, you're a life coach there.
So yeah, I'm a life coach as well. So I have always been, since the past 20 odd years, in my previous job as well, I used to coach the people inside the organization. So I was always a trainer and a coach.
Okay.
And what I did now is I've taken that out to the others in, like, not inside an organization. So I coach a lot of people. I've got some celebrity coaches. I mean, obviously for confidentiality, I can't say who.
No problem.
I have got entrepreneurs. So what I coach on is, like, if people want to start their business, simple as we were talking about, what do I do? How do I get
how do you start, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and what to expect. And people within the corporate who are looking for promotions, how do you grow, who become new leaders, who don't know how to manage teams, communication skills, just various things. So I have repeated clients. Okay. So basically the way I work in my coaching is I'll say, okay, let's book 6 sessions.
Okay. Do they come to you or do you go to them?
It depends on the country.
Oh, so it's worldwide.
Yeah, so a lot of my coaches come from like Australia, the US, and from India. So those are Zoom calls, Google Meets and all that.
Yeah.
For everyone within the UK, if it's London, we just meet. I meet in Liverpool Street.
Okay.
I meet in Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy to travel. So I don't make them come to my place.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always a neutral place.
Yes. That's good.
In Canary Wharf, like, there's a place in One Canada Square, the coffee shops. I'm always
there. You can do that.
Yeah.
And you get the peace and the time to...
Correct.
Yeah.
I avoid like a Starbucks and all because that gets too busy.
Loud and busy.
Yeah. So I take those niche coffee shops where we just sit in a corner and we work through things. Some people just want to work for 2-3 hours because their whole life is... they're like, can you just sort my life out?
Wow,
like work through everything.
Yeah, yeah,
So we just, I peel the layers and I really question everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on, I'm still listening. I'm just going to put on, I'm just going to give you a break in a minute. I'm going to play a song. So, we're just going to go for a break.
I love your screens. That's so cool.
Isn't it?
Have you guys seen the setup? Have you shown them the setup?
I've done a video a long time ago.
Nice.
But yeah.
That's really cool.
Just going to play something to so you can have a little break.
Nice.
You
That's
just,
very
you know,
nice.
little
Yeah, so
private
that's
break.
essentially
Yes.
what I do with coaching. So if anyone wants to look up, you know,
Yeah,
it's
advertise
my
yourself.
full name, Vinita Ramtri. So you can find me like vinitaramtri.com.
Mm-hmm.
But the other unique thing is that I'm the only Vinita Ramtri in the world.
How are you?
Yeah, so if you Google Vinita Ramtri, everything you find, you know, whether it's Twitter or Instagram or Amazon or LinkedIn,
Yeah.
all of it is me. So you can
Okay.
just basically go, okay, yeah, so I'm not able to get away with anything. You see, it's like I put myself under the pressure, but essentially you can just, sometimes people say, well, actually over there you're not an actor. And I say, well, no, that's because I also do a corporate job or I also do coaching. So
Yeah.
you'll find different things, different places. YouTube, I had a lot of videos and I've just made them private right now.
Okay.
For some strange reason, and I'll start that again. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
people, I'm going to play just a song so Vinita can have a little break and we'll be back. I'm going to play Baby Love by Winston Reedy. Shout out to you, Winston. And here we go. Hope you enjoy. Let me just like that so that Welcome back to the Goddess Jazzy Show. That was a wonderful wisdom reading. Message to his father. Lovely. We're still here. I keep saying Venetia. I don't know why.
Because Venetia is also
Venetia
a name. It's also a name.
It's a name as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vinita, and she's the only Vinita in the world. She's just
no, I'm
proclaimed.
the only Vinita ramtri in the world.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the only one, so you'll be able to find her and her book. Yeah, how are you finding it so far?
It's very good. It's nice. Yeah,
you
it's
like
a
it?
nice little room, a nice little place. And,
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you are there, but
Yeah, we've got
it's so
quite a
lovely
few
to
in.
talk.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. It's good. So, do you life coach anyone else apart from corporate people? Do you
Yeah. Which is why I'm saying, like, I started with the corporate more because I was from the corporate, but I have the celebrities and I have like entrepreneurs, just even relationships.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what
like-
type of things do you talk about? Are you allowed to speak it?
Yeah. I mean, I can speak anything based as long as I don't give individuals details,
No,
right?
that's right.
But a lot of times see how it is with women or with men, actually, because I don't even think it's a very women specific thing. But many times people are stuck in relationships and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So they get into relationships, and the way society is set up, it's all about, well, once you're there, you make it happen.
Yes, we have to make it work.
And anything other than that is failure. It's failure. Oh, you failed, or your marriage failed, or this thing failed, So there's a lot of stigma associated with these things.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, while they're trying to make things happen, they just feel like it's not working, or they don't belong, or how much they're going to tolerate, or how much they're going to adjust. And it's that fine line of, I just need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
And I just want to rationalize how I'm feeling. So it's a border.
That was my epiphany yesterday. That's what I wanted. I just wanted someone to listen.
Yes.
And a stranger listened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the fine line between the stranger and the counselor, which is where you're actually seeking counseling to say, okay, I'm feeling depressed and I need counseling or whatever else. But the coach is somewhere in between, because the stranger will listen. But the stranger you may or may not find the stranger, which you were fortunate, yes. And the stranger would not, like, may or may not have your back for over the long time. They will not be invested in you.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm invested in my coachees. I'm listening and I'm trying to understand what is going on.
Yeah.
I meet them exactly where they are. To say, why did you get into this in the first place? Okay, great. This is why we wanted it. This is where we are now. This is what we want to do now. So I work with them to say, okay, so what is it that you're looking for?
No, yeah.
And then what are the biggest fears? Because even just, someone might say, oh, a relationship is very difficult and leaving it is easy. I don't think either of the two is easy.
Yeah.
To leave is very difficult.
Yeah, because you've got all that years that you've put into it, or
correct. And then to also stay is very difficult because you're putting more years into it.
Yeah.
And then to leave becomes harder, but then you have spent more life being miserable. So it's I also, by the way, another thing I do is I trade stocks. And which is, when you said, you put in more years, which is the same point that happens with stocks. And because you get attached to your stocks, and I'm only comparing it with relationships.
Okay.
Because you feel I have put so much into this.
Yeah, you vested.
You vested, right? Yeah.
Your time, your energy, your everything.
And same thing happens with stock market. So when people buy like a Bitcoin, let's say you bought it for 40,000 and now it's become 12,000. You're still vested, saying, okay, I've seen this go down every single day. I don't have the heart to sell because somewhere I believe one day it will come back up. So the same thing happens because trading is a very emotional thing. You get attached, and because it's your money, right? It's your money. Same thing happens with the relationships. You get you're not able to see objectively to say, okay, what do I want to do with this? And therefore, it just helps to have a neutral view and to kick the tires on your thinking to say, what are you looking to get out of this? If you're waiting for this to change, what is the change you're expecting?
A miracle, love.
A miracle. And how are you going to make that miracle happen? Or you simply say, I do not have the courage and I'm going to tolerate this for life, which is fine. But at least then you're mentally at peace and said, okay, I have decided.
Yeah.
Every day, stop fooling yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Because a lot of people are just constantly fooling themselves. Oh, I'm miserable. Oh, I told them, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave. You're not going to leave. Even you know it. Even he knows it. My point is, so a lot of those things, they just need someone to say it.
To say it, yeah.
I mean, one of the women I was coaching, to be honest with you, she was miserable. Okay, she was miserable, and every day she'd call me up and she'd say, "I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave." I said, look, who are you bluffing? You know, so you don't.
So you say it and you still haven't done it. You're bound to not
and
be doing
then
it.
she left.
Oh,
And she's now got a super successful business.
wow.
She always thought, oh, I need to start my own thing. I need to start my own thing. He makes me feel worthless, you know, whatever. She could have obviously
But
started.
why, the thing is, in a relationship, why is it a man does that? I've only got to say it from that side because I don't really know much women that do things like that. But
Both do it.
why? Why? Is it because of their own trauma, their childhood? What makes them come? I don't know. I'm trying to work it out in my head.
I
What?
think it's insecurities. So what
Yeah.
happens is, and I would say this for both men and women, what happens is when we love someone, we hope that they will not change and they will not leave us.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and since I've been single like 10 years, you know, I've had all kinds of boyfriends, to be honest, and I'm being honest here.
Yeah, yeah,
Some are very, very secure people.
yeah.
Okay, they want to see you thrive. They want to see you grow.
Where did you find that person from? My goodness.
they're amazing, and they do exist. Okay?
Yeah.
They just say, listen, I'm just rooting for you. Whatever you do, they will just root for you, you know? And the relationship is sort of, you know, we may meet once in a year, we may meet twice in a year. It's not like I'm not staying with them, but we're just emotionally, you say, okay, we know we're there for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the sort of comfort and that space that, for that, the other person has to be hyper secure.
Yeah.
So the more talented you are, the more secure the person with you needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be able to then, it's like an umbrella, right? Saying when it's pouring, you need the umbrella to be able to
to
cover
cover you. Yeah.
to cover that, right? And the umbrella
But you
shrinking.
find that you as a secure person is covering that insecure person.
Yeah.
You know.
And it could be both, right? So and sometimes even in women do that to men, because I've coached men who feel like worthless. And why do they feel worthless? It's because their women make them feel that they're worthless, saying, okay, you know, you're not able to earn enough, you're not able to give me enough, and they're
that's
constantly
right.
struggling with, you know, that saying, okay, whatever I do is not enough. So it's not, I would never say it's one gender versus the other. It is, I think I have coaches who are from both genders, and
Which one is the more difficult one out of the two, or are they both?
both are difficult
Same.
in different ways. See, women voice it more easily. Men don't voice their problems. So I would like to assume, or what I see is that, you know, it's not that men have fewer problems.
Yeah.
And it's worse sometimes for them because they just can't voice it even. And I have a daughter and I have a son.
Yeah.
So I cannot say, you know, whose life is more difficult. Well, they're completely different issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, like, you know, even when we're talking about careers, I was saying, okay, women are expected to get married and not have a career.
That's what we've grown up to be. We were told growing up.
But equally, if you see like a man, I met a man who's a very famous chef, okay? And he comes from a culture where, you know, men become engineers and doctors. He said, when I became a chef and everyone's shaming me, to say, oh, what are you going to do? You're going to do a woman's job.
Oh, wow.
You know, so
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has it easy. And it's not, you know, you wouldn't see it when, maybe their role models are the Gordon Ramsays. You know how we look at a Beyonce and we go, okay, you know, people do stuff.
Well, I look at Angela Bassett, actually, to be honest.
Okay, but you know, I mean, like, exactly, yeah. But you look at someone, I mean, everyone's looking at Taylor Swift these days, but yeah. The point just being that people look for role models. I think even men look for role models.
Yeah.
Because there are stereotypes saying this is how a good man is, earns well, looks
It used
after
to be.
his person.
It used to be like that back in growing up time. It was that state stability. I've never known a man should be jealous of a woman. I just find it.
It should not be.
It shouldn't be like that. But I find there's more of it now. Back in the day, there was never that. You know, as you said, that guy was empowering his queen or what have you. But now it's just a room of jealousy. It's crazy.
I think I see both.
Do you?
I see both. Some of my biggest, whether we call it sponsors or supporters, are men, and they are very like
jealous.
they are. You're jealous, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying, are they jealous?
No,
Right.
I'm saying sponsors meaning they stand by me.
Oh,
whatever happens.
Yeah.
Whatever happens. So, I personally find both can be very supportive. Yeah. If I was to count, you know, my 5 most supportive people, sort of thing, you know, I would say 3 of them are men.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just sometimes what you're trying to set up. Another thing I've noticed with men is if you're too attached and if you're too close in that relationship, then they also see their duty in some ways to sort of protect you, and that starts to then manifest into controlling or being jealous. But because I'm single, you know, I don't go that far into any relationship. Saying nobody makes my decisions. I make my decisions. I decide whether I want to have glucose, I want to have milk, I want to eat nothing, I want to party, I don't want to party. My life, my choice, my business. So therefore that thing just doesn't come up in my life.
Did you ever have jealousy in your marriage? Was there any?
The normal. I mean, it's I would be the same, and you know, I think all relationships are really complex, and it's both ways, right? It's both ways. But if you're just, I think, as an individual, I just relate more to being what I call a happy single. You know, a lot of times, and I've written sometimes about that. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, you're single now, so when are you finding someone?" Right? And I say, well, single is not like a temporary stop. Single can be a status on its own. You know, it's not like, oh, I'm just single until I find the next person. You know, you can be single.
You can be single and happy. It's true enough.
I mean, a lot of people say single for how long? And I'm just like, what about how long? Do you tell this person you're married for how long? Like, you know, you don't do that. But for singledom, we question it. You know, when I was hosting this date night, it was so funny because a lot of people say, so what about you then? And I said, well, what about me? They said, why are you with someone? And I said, no, I'm single. So also, why aren't you
with someone?
Why aren't you with someone, or why aren't you in this date night? And I said, because I want to remain single. So
do you want to have somebody in your life? I'm not going to say in time, because you know, would you like to be in another relationship?
Not for the moment.
Not for the moment. Okay.
Not for the moment at all. I am just so content.
That's good.
I mean, we have to be fair to others as well. So if a person, let's say anyone's in a relationship with me, right? They will also expect me to give time. They will expect me to make time, to make allowances. And as with anyone, you know, in your relationship, you have a give and take. But am I mentally available right now? No. So why will I mess up?
But at least you've acknowledged that. A lot of women and men, I guess, don't acknowledge that, you know?
I think it's because of the fear of loneliness, right? You said like, okay, a lot of people will say to me, who's going to help you when you're older? You're pretty now, you won't be pretty forever. But I don't believe in those things. You know, it's like, okay, so what if I find someone today? What's the guarantee that they won't die 2 years later? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
that's the reality of it,
and you can't treat a relationship like an insurance policy. If you're worried about your future, go buy insurance, you know?
Oh,
you know, like it happens, right? You find the best relationship and then someone just, you know, goes away, leaves you, cheats, dies, anything can happen. So I'm just not into it for the future safety standpoint. If I feel in the future, maybe at 50, 55, if I want to be with someone, then I can find someone of that age. You know, so why do I have to find someone today? I don't like, right now I'm just so happy being with my kids. We're watching Ugly Betty. Have you seen Ugly Betty?
A long time ago though. That was a long time ago,
So we just said, you know, my daughter and I, we just said, so what shall we watch? We finished the whole of, you know, this one, we finished that one, you know, whatever we're watching. And then she's like, okay, shall we try Ugly Betty? And then we thought, okay, you know, because both of us haven't seen it.
It's interesting.
And at that time, I don't want to be telling my kids, no, I've got a date, I've got to go. You know, no, I haven't. I can sit in my pajamas and chill. You know?
I think my problem is always trying to help someone. Especially in a relationship, always trying to help
the person
that you're with. You're always trying to help. That, I think, it's my star sign. I'm quite a helpful person, so I need to learn to step back.
So, are you in a relationship?
I'm in a situationship, I want to call it now. It's no longer a relationship.
What does that mean?
A relationship after 10 years, which doesn't lead to marriage, becomes a situationship.
So, are you looking at saying, okay, the situationship is forever, or the situationship has a deadline, and then it becomes either a relationship or...
No, it was a relationship, which is now a situationship.
Nice. And then, but you're very invested in it, I'm taking it.
Not as I was, no.
No,
it's comfort.
It's comfort.
It's just comfort.
So, but then it'll be easy for you to move away if you wanted to move away from
definitely
it, right?
so.
So I mean, if you're very like looking after someone, you know, if you're very caring,
I'm very like that, and I don't know how to be different, you know.
But you can be that without being in a relationship. See, that's the point. Like, when I'm saying about the people that I know and who care for me, I'm not in a relationship with them.
Yeah,
But we care for each other.
For
We
each
care
other.
deeply. Some of them are married, have gone. You know, I haven't seen them.
That's the break. 5 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the news. Okay. Welcome back to the Goddess Jazzy show. We just had a little break there. Vinita's still with us, which we're talking about life coaching, relationships, and trying not to stay in a long-term relationship if nothing's going nowhere. Yeah. What do you think about narcissism? You know, I only realised it when I got into a relationship. I never knew it existed.
So what is your experience of it? Tell me.
God. Jealous, envious, creating a uncomfortable atmosphere for no reason. Could have a great day, and then if the attention isn't on that person, they'll make your day horrible.
If the attention is not on that person.
That person, yeah, the narcissist.
Yeah.
That's my interpretation.
I think, frankly, I have never experienced it firsthand. I have seen it on TV, I've heard about it.
Yeah.
But frankly, I can't say that, okay, this is how it is.
Yeah.
But, and how do you handle it then when you have tried handling it?
You need to be, the way how they don't like you to handle it, that you give them the silent treatment, because that doesn't give them power. So once they get angry and you start to be angry, that's what they get their thrill off.
Yeah, they feed on that.
They get their feed on that.
Yeah.
But if you're a person that thinks to yourself that, because to me, I'm a nice person, but get on the wrong side, I can be a bit thingy. But if you're constantly aggravating me, and I can see there's a pattern of it, then I have to scale back, as you said, and just let them go on. Yeah, it's been a hard. I've been with him 10 years, and he's a full-blown narcissist. But I know what I'm doing because I'm making use of him. Yeah, he won't be listening to me, so it's all right. Yeah.
So, but the point here being, so my question to you is, if you call a person a narcissist, then why would you want to marry them?
I don't.
But you did, right?
I did, but that's before I knew what they were. Do you see what I mean? They're very good at...
So how long before you didn't even realize?
Maybe 8 years into the relationship. I didn't know. I did not know. I thought, what was going on? This can't be right, because I'm not used to it.
So I think...
So I don't want to marry that person. No.
Yeah, I think the main thing, what you're saying is, it is reading the patterns and it's understanding what's going on. And maybe I wouldn't label anything in my life to say, okay, here's this person is like that. Because in my understanding of things, right, it's two people in the equation, right?
Yeah.
If he's tried a certain thing with you, and if he says that worked, right, that worked, and a person tries it again, and the person tries it again. Now, if you make yourself so solid, so when you say you don't feed the anxiety or whatever is going on, and if you are in charge of your life, then you already, whatever the other person is, you have limited their power.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So the bigger focus I always place is on myself. So I try not to contemplate or label another person. That is not mine. You know, saying, okay, if a person chooses to behave a certain way, that is their life, that is their right, that is their choice. Yeah, I am not them. Yeah, so they can be brilliant, they can be, you know, making jet planes, they can be Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they can be whatever, right? But we do that with the celebrities as well, right? Saying, oh, that's good for them, great. But what do we then do? We say, okay, what am I going to do about it? So with all my thinking, my philosophy, my life, you know, I can say, okay, Walkers or whatever, Crisp or Lucozade or anything, you know, great stuff. Do I want to put that in my body? Okay, there will be great stuff. So I think a lot of societally, there's a lot of focus on the other. Saying the supermarkets are selling this kind of food, or you know, there's a lot of sugar around us, or there's a lot of, you know, people who are like this, or people who are toxic, people who are like that. And I'd rather not label that.
No, I know what you mean. It's not that I'm labeling. I don't go out there to label it. I'm just saying because of that's my situation.
But in your situation is what I'm saying. So the moment you, even if whether we label it or not, the point is that's your observation. Yeah, your lived experience.
Yeah.
So when you have now, and I'm sure you will agree with this, in the past couple of years when you have noticed it, you will take the power away from it.
Yeah. Definitely.
So the noticing...
Just a shame that it took so long, because they're very good at acting. I may as well say they're very good at acting.
But can you see that the actor only gets away when the act is working? So
well, it did work.
Yeah, that's
this is the thing. Yeah.
So the most, and I'm not even saying okay, that is the right thing to do. But if the entire world was doing all correct things, there would be no wars, there would be no murders, there would be no problems, right? We would all be doing the right thing.
That's right.
But therefore, the best thing to do is to be like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Be so aware. To say, okay, here's some situation that's taking advantage, and how do I then counter that?
Yeah.
You know, there's this beautiful book by Robert Greene. It's called The 49 Rules of Power.
Ah, somebody just told me they're reading that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, my nephew. Shout out to my nephew Dominic. Yeah, he's reading
So
it.
you should like totally check that out, because the point there is that you are going to find people like that. Whether you like it or you don't like it, it is going to happen. Right? So now I probably take that to the next level to say, what am I going to do about it? Am I going to lie on the street to say, come hit me? You know, if you know certain areas are dangerous, what do you do? Do you go there and sit down there to say, oh, this area is dangerous, I'm going to get, whatever, stabbed, shot, whatever. No, you avoid it. You avoid it, or you go with whatever protection you need to say, I need to go there, but I'm going to look after myself.
So first,
So when people say, in all my books as well, when I'm talking about, everything I talk about, it's about what are you, or my coaching philosophy, what are you going to do about it? Okay, you can say the job market is difficult. Okay, job market is difficult. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to create more jobs? Are you going to look for a job?
What's your position?
Correct. Because it's very easy to say, okay, that doesn't work. The economy is not good. Rishi Sunak didn't do this. Okay, what am I going to do about it? Yeah. I'm gonna
play something.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna play another tune, and this is. Let's see a little bit longer. Let's have a look. I'm gonna play Rick Clark. I'll see you along the way, and we'll be back after this.
No worries.
Yeah.
How do you